Hey, Bo here. Do you remember back when maybe you saw the video where I was going to go travel? I was going to have to fly, and it's a lot of waiting and sitting, and I wanted to get artwork kind of prepared for myself to keep myself busy. So I was just going to take this book, these markers that I have here, and a micron pen. And so before I left, I drew some pictures. I drew that. And then while I was gone, I used these markers only to do these pages here. And it did keep me busy, and I actually ended up drawing more. Haven't colored them yet, but I drew them, and I just kept piddling around. I was getting this page done where I use these markers to create these little squares, and then the micron pen to Zentangle, which is really what these things are, to kind of decorate each box. And then I just kind of started fiddling, and I thought, well, that'd be kind of a fun card. So what I thought I would do is do a card with these colors, these markers. And so I came home and I started fiddling and stamping words in each one. And I like them. I don't know that I really want them in a card, but it was just a test. I think it would be cute to cut one of these out, kind of frame it and use it as a sentiment on a card. I think that would be cute. It could be even a tiny little tag, something like that. But I don't think I really want it on a card. So I went ahead and tried a card. This is just cardstock that I cut to fit into card size. And I used these markers as the background, and then I used these leaf stamps on it. And they're okay, but I thought it would look a little nicer in watercolor. So basically, I am deciding to try the watercolor and see what we get here. And I'll use the stamps. And I think I have all these came from Paper Source. They're kind of a leaf selection, and they're really cute for the fall. And but I think I'm gonna do that leaf because it's got a little bit, it's a little bigger. And I'm gonna pick some colors here, and I think what I'm gonna do, what I've done here, this is not a card, this is a cut piece of watercolor paper that will fit on a card. And it will fit on either of these cards. We'll decide later. This is pretty much a clean match, and then this would be a white background with the watercolor paper that's a little bit darker, different tones, but I like that. I'll decide that later. But this is the front that would go on the card. And I've used some art tape to kind of create borders, a clean border, and taped the paper down. And the paper is actually creating the 1/2-inch border. So I can paint within this. And I think what I'm gonna do is one color like this, and then maybe a square, a different color, and then stamp it with this leaf. So let's see what we can do and give it a try. Okay, I've got my watercolors ready. These are just an inexpensive palette of colors that I got on Amazon, watercolor paints. And then this is the envelope I want to use. I've been using these a lot. I like this color, and I have quite a few. It's like a sage green. So I'm going to try to kind of stay in this color scheme. And I've got my, so the colors, let's see, let's look, just kind of the neutral tones. I think any of these would be fine. I don't know. I think I'm gonna just piddle around and see what I get. So I'm gonna wet my brush, and then I really like this one here, just to start off. Now, one thing I like, this is a inexpensive little paint, I don't know what you call them, paint holder, I guess, where you mix your paint. And you can get plastic ones, and I got this at Hobby Lobby. It's a ceramic one, and I like it because it doesn't move easily. It doesn't flick easy or tip. It's fairly heavy, and I like that. So you might consider that if you actually want to try to do some painting. I like that right off the bat. That's really cute. So let me get some water here. And I think I'm going to do the background this. See, I won't need much. Let me grab a piece of paper here. I'll test it. Because it may, this is a regular piece of paper. So I'm gonna have to kind of dilute it, but I think that would be real pretty. So let's just kind of, here, before I forget, I'm gonna spritz the paper just real lightly so that the watercolor will kind of blend on it. And after we do this, we're kind of give it a little chance to dry. And then we'll see what we got. I like this. This is so pretty. So many things you could do. It's endless. It really is endless. That's why I say art it's a gift, and it's you. Because you'll think of things that I haven't thought of, and hopefully I'll think of things that will spur you on to some more creativity. I'm just going to kind of darken the corners a little bit and see what we get. We want texture, we want shading, we want unique. And everyone's unique. So, okay, let's give this a chance to dry, and then we'll go on to a square where we'll then let that dry and put the leaf on, and then we'll apply it to a card and see what we get. Okay, we're back. Paper dried pretty good because I've got the fan going on. And I was trying to figure out, as this dried, sitting here thinking, how am I going to get kind of a square? So I kind of marked off the points here and here, the edges here and here. Didn't really help me much because once I removed it, I really couldn't tell where to go. So what I did was put it back, and I had these little pencil marks, put a few on each side, and I can see them. You probably can't, but I want them really, really light so that they don't show when I paint. So we're gonna set this aside. I also chose, I think I'm gonna try this distressed ink to stamp. I tried it on paper, and I think that the leaf would look better brown versus black. So we're gonna give that a whirl. So let's see, I'm testing my colors here, and I kind of have come up with this color, which I think would look best with going with the envelope. A lot of these greens are very different from sage, and this is the closest that I can come up with. So I'm going to give it a try. It's going to be a little different from the envelope, but that's okay. And then just so you know, I'm thinking lining the envelope possibly with a little watercolor and see what I can do. I don't know. I got to think. We'll think about that together here. So let's get this. This is the green that I chose, which I think will be really nice. And I'm thinking it's going to be kind of strong. Oh yeah, very strong. Need a new piece of paper. Oh, what have I got? Paper everywhere. And what I'm going to try to do is not get it on my paper too early. Just keep adding and piddling. All right. That's kind of nice. Oh, I like that. It's not even watercolor paper. So let's see what we get. Let's give it a whirl. Kind of not diluted anymore. So let's see what we get. Just kind of a yep, I think that's a good square. I kind of like the corners a little dark. It kind of adds a frame. I do want it to look, you know, hand done. Okay, I think we're ready. We'll let it dry, see what we get. I have no idea how this is going to work, but it's worth a try, and we'll find out soon. Okay, we're back. It's been about 5 minutes and this has dried. And so I'm gonna see if we can stamp our leaf with distressed ink. Now, this distressed ink is not as wet as like your VersaFine, so you have to get it maybe a little bit more on it. That looks pretty good. And I have to be careful. I'm on a farm table and I'm on the leaf of the farm table, and it kind of gives, and sometimes things don't stamp real well because the table gives a little bit, but that looks good. I think we can do it. That's why you hear creaking every time I kind of move. All right, so let's see if we can get this a good punch. All right, there we go. Let's unveil, see what we got here. Oh, while I was on break, I got gummies. Don't you love them? Oh, they're just delicious. Just a little handful and I'm good to go. All right, so there they are. I will not eat them right yet. Let's first see. That's a nice border. This is nice. I got this art tape on Amazon. Got 3 rolls, decent price. This is cute. Oh, I like that. Before I took the tape off, I thought it looked not real good. But taking that off, it's very unique. Looks like a little painting. All right, so then we've got these choices. I'm really going with the neutral tones, because look how that look how that's gonna, that's very, I think, elegant. Okay, while we were waiting for this green square to dry, took about 5 minutes, I got to thinking about a liner for the card, and I had paper that's thin, kind of a beige. It's almost a parchment-like paper, but it's not thick and rough. And I just thought maybe we should just stamp that, because painting it is going to make it regular paper kind of pucker. And I didn't want that. I didn't think it would work. So just lined it that way. And I think that is pretty good. Still need to get this glued down too, but as a general rule, I like the look of this. So let's get this glued down to the card. And again, the slightly longer piece is going to be your front. I will likely eyeball this. Now, after I painted it, if you get the watercolor paper, and this is 140 weight, and I cut it down to the size that I want, which is usually just slightly smaller than these cards. When you paint it, even though I had it taped down, it kind of puckered a little bit, and then as it dries, it flattens back out. That's what's so neat about the watercolor paper. It just like adjusts, and it's just so pretty. So this is flattened back out very nicely. Let's get some glue on it, and then that'll make sure that it stays on the card nice and flat as well. This is a very, it's one of those cards where it's very simple. Looks like a painting, and I just love the look. I love this. I honestly think this is something that I would see at the store. You could sell these. If you have a shop on Etsy, you could make these, mass produce them, and they're just beautiful. I love it. I just love it. I love the beige colors. So just a few steps, just a few things, and you got a beautiful card.